And welcome to Upon Further Review. I'm Josh Aubrey. Plenty to get to in this week's show. The Georgia Southern football team heading down to New Orleans to participate in the R+L Carriers New Orleans Bowl as they'll be taking on Louisiana Tech. The Eagles have played 3 bowl games in school history. They're 2-1. The lone loss came last year to Liberty in the Cure Bowl. This time around, the Eagles will have a different bowl experience as they're only going to be going up the day before. Do a practice in the Superdome the day before, and then the game will be there on Wednesday at 3 o'clock. So a little bit different atmosphere for the game and leading up to the game. The Eagles also pretty banged up as they go into the game. Shai Werts not expected to play. The Eagles will possibly be getting Sam Kennerson back along with Miller Mosley, who ended up finishing the game, the last game, which was 2 weeks ago Saturday against Appalachian State. We'll hear from Coach and some of the players coming up in just a moment. The Georgia Southern men's and women's basketball teams both in action over the weekend. And the women also played on Friday, where they were able to come up with a big victory there at Hanner Fieldhouse in a game that was only scheduled last week. They took on Georgia Southwestern. We'll give you some highlights of that. Coming up in a bit, we'll also go out to the high school basketball court where the Portal Panthers were hosting a couple of games, including playing ECI on Friday, where they were able to sweep the Bulldogs. We'll have highlights of that and plenty more coming up on Upon Further Review. And a reminder before we go to break, hopefully you'll never be in an accident, but if so, please give our friends at the Sullivan Law Firm a call, 912-489-8888, or online at thesullivanlawfirm.com.
The Medical Center Pharmacy on Grenade Street is proud to be your Health Mart pharmacy in Statesboro. The Medical Center Pharmacy, locally owned and serving this community for 50 years, is open 364 days a year. The pharmacists at Medical Center know there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. That's why they take the time to know their customers, explain their medications, and answer any questions. The Medical Center Pharmacy, your Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Well, the Georgia Southern Eagles making it to a bowl game is more than many teams can say. Once again, the Eagles were able to secure themselves of a bowl, and a pretty good one at that. They'll be heading down to the New Orleans Bowl, the R+L Carriers New Orleans Bowl, as they take on Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech comes into this game with the longest bowl win streak in the country, and they've also been perfect against Sunbelt teams, so the Eagles have a couple of things going against them, I guess, as they go in, along with being pretty banged up. We had a chance to talk with Coach Lunsford and some of the players about the big game and the matchup.
We're very excited. You know, any game is a great opportunity to play. You know, anytime we get a chance to play, we're ready to play. Especially with this team, we can do it one more time in a bowl game and get a chance to win a ring. It's nothing better right now. We're a pretty good team, you know, as usual, as every other team is. We're going to go into this game treating it just like we would any other. You know, we're ready to establish the run as usual. We're ready to play as hard as we can and put on the best show for our fans and our seniors so we can send them out the right way. We're prepared to bring our juice as usual. You know, some games have been more packed than others, but we always bring our juice. Our sideline is our sideline. We're going to do what we do, and we're going to just bring our own juice, like I said. I look at Louisiana as our home away from home now. We've been there so many times this year. But yeah, we're gonna treat it like any other away game. You know, we're gonna be locked in the way there. You know, we're going down there for one goal and one goal only, and that's to win the ring. And we're just gonna give it all again. Bring all our juice. You know, as usual, and we're just gonna play as hard as we can. We just play for one another. You know, we're a tight knit group. You know, it's a tight team. We just keep playing for one another. One goes down, and we live by next man up rule every time. It doesn't matter if somebody gets hurt or anything that happens to anyone. The next man is always ready. We're always ready to play. You know, we bring in great talent. Everybody brings something to the table, and we're just ready to compete every game. It doesn't matter who's in there. We're going to still do what we do and play for them if they can't play.
I'm very thankful that, for my last year, we were able to, definitely push through and play 12 games in the season, which, one out of two, three teams were able to do. So one out of two teams. And I mean, the other team was Texas State, I believe. But, we're going to bowl game and make it 13. So, it's making history and definitely something that I can take on with me, for for the rest of my life. A lot of guys are saying, hey, I'm staying next year just because of this and this. And I mean, everybody has their own opinion, but it's kind of cool to see that a lot of people are trying to, come back and finish what they, what we couldn't have done this season, which is, get a conference championship, New Year's Six, and so forth. So, it's great to see, some of the guys come back and doing that and definitely trying to make an impact on the team.
Is it your last game?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm still thinking and pondering on some stuff. But, I'm just taking it one day at a time. I know me and Coach Hunter has had a couple conversations about it, but, we'll definitely see. Yeah, bowl games are fun. Bowl games, you take that week and, get to have some fun, definitely in New Orleans. But, I mean, we play football for a purpose, and that's to win. And, if the guys aren't on track with that, we told them, go ahead and leave. Go ahead and go home now. Because we want the guys that's, no matter what, is going to go out there and grind and be down there to, win a football game. And that's what we want to do. Louisiana Tech, they definitely throw a lot. They have some really good skilled guys, 0 and 5. 5 is really their main guy. There are some quick, agile guys that can do a lot of stuff in space. They do a couple things in the run game as well. They do dart, which is something that we haven't seen this season. And they have some really big alignments. So, it's definitely going to be a challenge having to get out there and play the spread, but we also got to get some pressure on the quarterback as well. I know everybody was talking about how the quarterback got hurt for them when they played TCU, but number 3 has also played a lot of games and started a couple games too. So it's not like we have someone who doesn't know what they're doing back there. So we're definitely not going to discredit him. We're ready for it. I mean, shoot, we're playing in the Dome. I never played in the Dome before. Could possibly be my last game as well. So, I mean, I got to end it the right way. And, Louisiana's a cool place. And definitely having the chance to play in a NFL stadium is definitely going to be an experience.
Really like where the guys are. They're excited. I think that, I hate the fact that they're not really getting that bowl experience of going down there early, because they worked very hard to get that opportunity. But because of what it is this year, but I do think they're excited about that and excited about going into New Orleans and playing for a bowl championship. But they're doing a really good job, working hard. Unfortunately, we're not going to have Justin Tomlin. He ended up having to have surgery on his ankle, so he will be out for this game. And so, Miller Mosley has been getting majority of the reps. We've been getting Sam Kennerson some reps, and Shy's getting some. But again, I don't know where his shoulder is going to be. But I think we're going to have to be very mindful of what Miller can do. We'll have to be mindful of, Sam just being a young guy, what he could go in there and do. And then if we are able to play Shy, obviously that would open us up a little bit more to do more things. But again, we're going to have to tailor to each quarterback and be ready for that game plan for all of them. Yeah, Shy's a warrior. If he wants to get on the field, we're going to find a way. And if it's one play or if it's a bunch of plays, I don't know if he wants to do it, if he feels like his body can do it. Obviously, we're not going to put him in a situation where his health is at stake or anything like that. So, but, Shy's a warrior, has done a lot for this program, and definitely would want to reward him with that if we could. Watching their offense, it kind of looked like they can be a high-tempo team. Their running back has really come on the last 4 games that they've played. Again, their quarterback got hurt, but the guy that is coming in, he's gotten a significant amount of snaps this year. And, they're a heavy, screen team, up-tempo team. They do like to throw the ball. They will run the ball, but they're more of a passing team, quick pass game, but very efficient in doing it. Defensively, they like to jump in multiple fronts. There's not a whole lot of film where we can sit there and say, hey, this is what they're going to do against the option. But they've shown to be a very base defense, but jump in and out of fronts. not a heavy blitz team, so we really don't expect that. And then in the secondary, playing a lot more zone than man. And just when you look at them, I mean, they're obviously good players, very athletic, and for any team to be going into it with a 6-0 bowl winning streak, going into 7 straight and the opportunity to win 7 in a row, longest streak in the country. You got to have a lot of respect for that team. We've got to go do what we do. We got to make sure we establish a run and try to dominate the run. Again, you can look at stats and you can just say, oh, it's going to be easy to run the ball. But we got to understand that we're a running team, and so that's what they're going to concentrate on. A lot of their statistics may be, well, there may be a more of a passing team that they're playing, and the run stats maybe goes up on them because they've practiced against a passing team. So we got to understand they're going to be coming into this thing to stop the run. But again, those stats are favorable to us. But again, if we take anybody lightly, that's not going to be good. And then obviously the health of our football team, we're not as healthy as we'd like to be. And so, we've got to be very mindful of that and make sure that we're doing the things that we can do, that our guys' strengths are at. But we're going to run the football. That's what we do. And we need to go establish the run. But the great thing about it is we'll get an earlier start. Normally on a road trip, we have to go to class. And then we leave, and then we really just get to the hotel and we start meeting, we eat and go to bed. For this one, we'll get out a little bit earlier and we'll actually get to go to the stadium that we're going to play in, and move around a little bit. I think that's going to be key. And I think that's important. I would love to be able to do that on regular road games. It's just, we haven't been able to work it out schedule wise, with guys having to go to class or getting to go to class, let me say it that way. And, you're not really having the opportunity to go visit the stadiums and get a good feel for what it looks like and how it's going to be. So I think that can be an advantage to us, is at least getting out there earlier and just running around a little bit inside that dome.
That game getting underway at 3 o'clock in New Orleans, and we'll have highlights of that game for you next week. As for the Georgia Southern basketball, stay with us. Coming up next, we'll take a look at some highlights.
My Queensboro banker is Cheryl Quick.
Blanchard Equipment Company has 16 locations.
Queensboro has homegrown values just like us.
They get heavily involved in every community.
And that means strong customer service.
They've been around a long time, just like John Deere.
When you run across the bank like that, you stick with them.
I sure would like to own one of these John Deeres.
Well, we can sure make that happen.
Oh, well.
Queensboro is your community bank. Queensboro National Bank and Trust.
Give the gift of Eagle merchandise this Christmas with a present from the University Store on the Georgia Southern campus or their Savannah location. Featuring plenty of jackets, shirts, and sweatshirts to keep you warm this winter. The University Store is open Monday through Fridays from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m., all the way up until the holiday break at the Statesboro and Savannah store locations. So for all those Eagle fans, don't forget to stop by the University Store with 2 locations to serve you in Statesboro and in Savannah. Well, the Georgia Southern women's basketball team coming off a tough loss on Sunday as they traveled to Georgia State and got beat by Chattanooga in a shootout there at the Georgia State Holiday Tournament. This past Friday, the Eagles were hosting Georgia Southwestern, where they were able to pick up a victory. Let's send you back out for some highlights. The Georgia Southern Lady Eagles hosting Georgia Southwestern. First half action, and they kick it out to Tatum Barber. She buries 3 of her 12 points in the game. Later, it's Jaden Hamilton driving in. She gets this one to fall. The Hurricanes keeping it close. Kayla Grant able to drive in and get the lefty layup. Deja Holmes back on the other end for the hoop and the foul. Eden Johnson later inside with the rebound and the putback. Shondell Vickers in the paint with a nice spin move. She gets 2. Vickers then kicks it out to Holmes for 3 more. The Eagles starting to heat up from outside. Hamilton for 3. Adiana Galden then for three. Galden then three more of her 12 points. And finally, Vickers able to come up with the hoop and the foul inside as the Eagles roll 90-69. And stay with us, high school basketball action coming up next.
No credit refused isn't just an offer, it's a way of business and has been for over 100 years. No banks, no ridiculous credit requirements, just local Badcock store owners who treat you right and give you credit when others won't. It's never been easier to express your style and love your home.
Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, providing primary care for Statesboro area patients since 1998, providing complete physicals, complete sports physicals, Medicare wellness exams, full diabetes treatment, and education from lifestyle changes to oral medications to insulin pump therapy, in-house dermatology, in-house circulation tests, and ultrasounds, and in-house labs. Featuring nurse practitioner Melissa Beasley, Family Internal Medicine of Statesboro can accommodate same-day or next-day appointments to serve your needs. Family Internal Medicine Associates of Statesboro, where we care. Well, the Statesboro High and Southeast Bowie Yellow Jackets were supposed to be battling Saturday on the court, but COVID issues with the Yellow Jackets has caused that game to be canceled for now. They're going to try to make it up later on in the season. They'll also be playing in Brooklet in a regular scheduled game in January. Up next for the Blue Devils, they'll be hosting the Gentlemen's Classic coming up the 28th, 29th, and 30th of December. As for the Portal Panthers, they had a couple of games over the weekend, playing on Friday and Saturday. Friday, they swept ECI. Saturday, the men won against Toombs. The ladies not so lucky there as they lost, but let's send you back for some highlights from Friday's doubleheader victory with a sweep over ECI. The Portal Panthers hosting ECI in the first of two. We pick things up in the ladies' game, second half. Shanicia Coleman goes in for the layup. Next, it's Allyric King inside for the hoop and the foul. Destiny Brown doing likewise. She drives in, gets the bucket and one. Kelsey Williams will then bury the long two off the glass. ECI cuts the lead to 6 on this jumper by Nuturi Smith. But King with the answer on the other end, and Portal wins 41-30. To the boys' game we go, a little closer matchup with the Bulldogs. Amir Jackson hits inside. Joseph Thomas then kisses this one off the glass for 2. Elijah Coleman buries the 3. Coleman next with the hoop and the foul in traffic. Jackson then driving in for 2 more. ECI comes back. Chris Jackson hits the jumper. Later, it's a 3 in the corner by Kobe Allen as ECI takes a 23-21 halftime lead, second half. Thomas drives in. Jackson on the other end makes it a 2-point game. Portal right back. Coleman, 3 of his 24. Allen on the other end for 3. ECI taking a 4-point lead, but Portal then on a 14-2 run. Thomas, 3 more of his 21. Thomas then driving in for the hoop and the foul. Thomas then dishes inside to Chandler Sheffield for the hoop and the foul. And finally, it's Jackson with the hoop and the foul in traffic as Portal comes back to win 56-49. Next up for the Portal guys, they'll be playing in the Statesboro High Gentlemen's Classic, and they'll actually be opening things up against Statesboro at 7:30 there on their first day, which will be on December 28th. That'll wrap things up for now. We thank you for joining us. Have a great Christmas and hope to see you again next week.
Thank you.